Right, welcome to the PropLinq AI podcast, where we sit down with global leaders who are transforming property, maintenance, and real estate through systems, automation, and purpose-driven scale. I'm Stuart Quintal, the founder of PropLinq AI, helping property businesses deploy AI-led workflows that improve lead gen, operations, and performance. Today's guest is a pioneer in field service and property technology, Logan Nathan, founder and CEO of I4T Global, a Melbourne headquartered platform reimagining field service maintenance across property, facilities, and trades. Now, Logan has over 30 years in tech and innovation, and he's leading the charge in efficiency, transparency, and safety across global markets. Logan, welcome. Great to have you on.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Thank you for the opportunity. Looking forward to this podcast.
Right. Now, Logan, like I like to do this on most of my podcasts, is sort of like telling us what brought you to launch I4T Global and what was your core mission?
Right. That's let me take the long story in short. I have 4 decades. I think you said 3 decades, but I've got 4 decades of IT experience, and most of those 2 decades were with a large multinational corporation. Started as a graduate and worked the way all up to a global executive position. And since I decided to go on my own for the last 2 decades, 22 years to be exact, I always been interested in how tech works in business. So I had a fortunate time of working with a lot of SMEs. And through that, I've been writing and teaching the tech part of it for good 10 years plus. In fact, I was one of the pioneers on LinkedIn as well, teaching about how LinkedIn is going to benefit people and so on. So along the way, after the GFC hit in 2008, I think, if I remember correctly, I've decided that I'm going to change the way the whole model works with business. So instead of charging people up front, we said we put the value up front and we're going to charge them a monthly fee. And my motto was, if the customers see the value in us, they stay with us. If they don't, they don't. So you provide the service up front and we get the value of the client's revenue over a period of time. Guess what? That is the SaaS model over a period of time, software as a service. So during that second decade, I think, I started writing my book, which is really put my experience of how SMEs are benefiting it or need to benefit out of this digital marketplace. So those days, as you are aware, the Uber of the world, Netflix of the world, Airbnb of the world already changing and the way the normal thing works in their respective industry. Then when I wrote the book, I realized, my goodness, I have been going through over 33 decades of myself. Why can't I do something about the industry that I know of, which is the small to medium industry or the businesses, and in particular the trades, right? Because I see the trades in Australia where I got started, they're the honest bunch, the hardworking entrepreneurs, accidental entrepreneurs who really work their hard off and very family oriented and true to their work life. So I decided through my many clients that I had at that time that I'm going to actually disrupt that part of it. So we were really making a Uber copy to really make that into how can I help the trades. So it's very simple. You have a B2C where people can just go into an app. This is what the initial I4T is all about. And then people find the trades and the whole experience is transparent. That was all good up to about 8 of my trades clients invested in us. And then we moved forward. Year down the line, we realized this is going to be a very slow taking, purely because the consumers were not ready to go through the proper channel and pay for the tradies. And the trades also are stuck with that sort of cash exchange, if you want to call it. And then we were thinking what to do. And fair enough, or funny enough, I should say, we found there is a bigger gap in B2B than B2C, which is the real estate or the property managers who actually maintain a very large number of properties. They have the similar issue, except they are in the middle, managing it on behalf of their landlords and tenants and trying to get the trades to do the work. This is how I4Tradies or Tradies software was born, a good now 7 years ago. So, to cut the long story short, we started at a B2C and now we are enjoying the B2B. And I realized suddenly the global market is actually growing, not only in the property management area, in real estate or prop tech, also in the field services in general. So I hope that's got you the background to where we are today.
Yep, and I didn't mention 4 decades, but I did say over 30. But I was just trying to keep some mystery in there for you. But I mean, I guess you've done the founder and the startup sort of journey of trying to solve one problem, but realizing that there's probably a bigger problem in another, and pivoted a little bit from B2C to B2B to C. So, what does, I guess, a typical work day or work week look for you now, like 7 years, 8 years later?
Yeah. Well, there's lots of gray hair. What that gray hair taught me was, if you're running a startup and then growing it, only one thing and only one thing matters. You know what it is? Cash flow. If you don't have your cash flow intact, doesn't matter how good your tech is, how good your team is, you are not able to sustain it. So if you wanted to tell me about my day's work, is all about ensure the cash flows intact. In fact, I'm very proud to say in the last 22 years of business, never failed to pay a bill and never, had anything owing, purely because I ensure it's always cash flow positive. Not necessarily company profitable, because often when you're running a startup like that, we are also dependent on the funding coming from investors. So that's really, in a nutshell, if anybody listening to this want to do a startup or really want to scale up, cash flow is the king and queen.
Yeah. Now we sort of covered off, I guess, the broad sort of platform, I guess, but it covers field service. You've got CRM, you've got requests, and now you've got the AI assistant like not Yara. What's working really well?
Well, the thing is, I feel, and I am strongly advocating every member of my team, if you do not master AI in the next couple of years, you are probably struggling to keep your job as you know today. So let me come back to I4T Global and the field services. Field services, we have automated a number of things. Compliances, the way the work order flows, the way, one job to another, the transparency, all that done prior to AI time. But with the AI coming into place and with the existing customers already got plenty of data to really say, what is it, their patterns like, we are actually in a very commanding situation for us to automate a lot of stuff. Let me give you an example of where the AI is going to be benefit in a simple way, and there's a lot of other things to go behind it. Today, if you want to make a request, you send an email, right? And then the other person who received it, typically a property manager, enters her details into the system, and that's the way it works. From then on, it's all automated. But in the future with AI, you don't need to. You just simply say, send a text or whatever that you prefer, WhatsApp message or text or an email. Hey, I have a plumbing problem today. That's all you need to say. Because the rest of the information automatically can be intelligently found. Who you are, what's your address, are you authenticated already? Then the actual message can be automatically create a work order, and the whole thing can be flown. So can you see the simplicity of, we are now human, all we are saying is what the human problem is, and the tech take care of it through AI. That's just one of it. Right. And then when you go into the processes, I can go on or go on. I probably need a few hours. So that's just the automation part that we are looking at every aspect of it. How can we get the agentic AI to embed and get the entire experience, go through an AI base? So today we practice AI in everything we do. Generative AI to agentic AI. The agentic AI, in a true sense, we have not released to the customer yet, purely because we want to ensure that automation, all that works 100%. Just recently, we have done an automation or AI automation for answering telephone calls. So the tradesperson do not have to be there anymore. The call comes in through an agentic AI platform. Call get answered as so than another human being answering it, and ask all sorts of interactive question, and the work, the lead generation happens, all automated. So I'll just give you two examples of where we are at, and there's a much more complex one involves behind the scene that is to do with how do you massage your data and give that intelligent back. Just an example of it, typical trades, when you go and turn up to do your hot water system, and they have to refer to the manuals to see exactly what part it is and so on. But guess what? AI will actually can get the manual, go straight to the page and give that information. That's just another one. The other part is the biggest thing that I'm not sure a lot of people got it or not. In a multicultural environment like Melbourne and of course Middle East and other places, you can speak your own language. A trade is often, probably not the best speaker of the native language, right? So you can actually send an English order, and that person on the other side get a Spanish version of the actual message, and then the whole communication happen without having to worry about what language you speak.
Yeah, it's like a babblefish,
Correct. Do you want me to keep going?
Well, I mean, like as you are keep going, I guess from you're scaling globally. Like, what are the challenges that have stood out as you sort of go from
Right.
one market into others?
Okay, so the global perspective happened because initially we were homestrung in Australia. We had to ensure when we actually developed this under an embargo period for about 2 years. So we had that luxury of going out and exploring during that time. How can we take this globally, right? Guess what I found out? There's a much bigger market in Europe and the US, and of course potentially Middle East as well, which we have not explored to date. Much bigger market and much faster attraction overseas than here in Australia. So then come back to your original question, what are the pitfalls we have in terms of the growth? The challenge often we find is, even though when you are ready, the transformation, digital transformation happens at the customer level. Often, we are talking about the larger clients, can be challenging because they have their own priorities, their own business challenges, and then we got to fight to get that right resources to really do it. And often internally, we are going through about 3 of them right now. Internally, getting all of their staff, aligning it and buying into it is another challenge as well. So first is to get the lead and get that into a sale. That's often happens. Then implementation, everybody's best interest, the business owner on the other side to us, but the reality is it can take a bit longer.
I mean, enterprise level transformation is always a long lead in.
Well, particularly in real estate, they are actually on the move, as you know, all the time, right? So their challenge can be really difficult when you're trying to do by process automation. In fact, the pop tech industry is one of the lagging industry when you come to tech automation or tech adaptation.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, and definitely understand where you're coming from there. So, from if we dig into some of the tech, what sense systems are central to I4T, and how do they all connect?
Well, rightly or wrongly, we have things right. We have done the right decision. We are a Google shop, right? So everything we do around Google, from Google Cloud to emails to all the automation that we are doing, everything is related to Google, because we think sticking into one company or their variation of the offer, it makes it easier and much quicker to plug in. Having said that, when it comes to financials, we use somebody like Stripe, who's already proven and global. And when it comes to financials, we stick to Zero or Myob and so on. So we try and connect end to end. When it comes to properties, we often API interconnection to their own, whatever the cloud platform they are using. So we try to give, while we are trying to solve a vertical issue, which is maintenance, we try and make that transparent, such a way these data do not have to be duplicated. So all can flow through one to another.
So, like as you build out and as you grow globally, but also as you integrate more tools or more services, what's next on the roadmap?
The roadmap is, like I said, is AI. If
Yep.
we take the
AI.
biggest challenge, we already have the customers put their hands up. So we would say in 2026, it's going to be really mostly automating it. Having said that, we just done a CRM for a UK client, and that CRM also need to be hooked to the main part of it and expand on it. The challenge that we have as we go through different clients, often we don't get a smaller client, we get a sizable client, and their requirement varies from one to another. So if you get a client A, not necessarily the client B takes exactly the same SaaS platform. There's always a tweaks and changes to it, which is good and bad, because it's good in a sense we actually tend to expand that or tweak our platform better. Bad in a sense it requires sometimes different resourcing and managing that in a different way. So the thing that we need to really do into 2026, how can we get AI into try and minimize that part of the changes we have to tackle from client to client.
Now,
No.
I guess also want to sort of speaking ahead, like at the next 12 months, like you're currently on the property maintenance vertical. Are you looking to expand deeper or get any deep penetration across the property, like maybe construction or any other new verticals?
I think, to be honest, if you ask any entrepreneur who's actually want to scale up, expanding it into different areas, it can be also dilute your own growth. So the way we are doing it is, yes, we are interested in construction, we are interested in hotels and so on, but we will actually go through that by finding a API that flow through it and trying to solve that core problem, which is what I explained earlier on, which is maintenance, right? Or managing it. Another one is, of course, as this equipment all get advanced, we need to really also change our platform to be a lot smarter. And that's why, I'm probably saying AI too many times, but AI is going to be the game changer for us over the next 12 to 24 months.
Yep. So, I mean, like from my perspective, it's been quite a fascinating chat around the building of a global field service ecosystem, and you're saying all the right things about a company is investing in AI and looking at how AI can actually improve and create better opportunity not only for your business but also the businesses you serve. Logan, like where can people find out more about I4T Global or where can they connect with you directly?
Well, we are very proud of our website, which is called i4tglobal.com. Hopefully that gives enough. And my team is already working behind to try and make it even that one smarter to try and find the information much quicker. We are very active on all social medias, especially LinkedIn in particular. I'm a TikTok fan, so believe it or not. So I'm also trying to get a few more TikTok videos to try and get the message to a younger generation. myself, Logan at logannathan.com.au. I'm always available. But my best medium for anyone to get in touch with me is LinkedIn, which is where I get most of my new business and manage our existing client. And I'm sure, Stuart, you also came to me through LinkedIn.
Yep.
There you go.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Logan. And for our listeners, whether you're a facility manager, developer, or prop tech exec exploring system upgrades, you'll find some valuable lessons in what Logan's building. And also, don't forget to check out PropLinq AI if you want to help deploying AI workflows to scale your business. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you next time.
Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, Stuart.